Let me start off by saying two words. Life insurance. You still there, or did you run away? Okay. Well, since you're still there, let's talk a little bit about what life insurance is and what it'll do for your family and why it's important to have it. I want to start this out with a little question, a little something that kind of gets you on the same page that we're all on here. Um, let's think of the Titanic for a second. You remember the Titanic, the unsinkable ship, right? Um, since it was unsinkable, why did they even bother putting lifeboats on the Titanic? You know, did you ever ponder that question? Maybe they pondered the same thing, like, why are we even putting lifeboats on this boat? Well, we know the answer to this question, and we know what happened with the Titanic. The Titanic ended up sinking. And on that day that the Titanic sunk, they had to use those lifeboats. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough lifeboats. So a lot of people had to pay the ultimate price with their lives because there wasn't enough lifeboats for everyone to get on. So Titanic, the unsinkable ship, sunk without the right amount of lifeboats. Which brings me to life insurance, which kind of like the Titanic. Everyone thinks they're never going to die. Or I'm not going to die for a really long time. Well, that's great. If you know when you're going to die, the exact date, then hey, buy life insurance a week or so before that. I mean, you know the date. Good job. Congratulations. You are one in a million. But for the rest of us, who we don't know that date, which, I mean, it could have happened last night, could happen tomorrow. We never know when we're going to be called home. And when that time comes, how much burden are we going to leave to our family? And what I mean by burden is, if you die without life insurance, the first thing that the family is going to come up with is, oh my God, how are we going to pay for this funeral? I don't have the money to pay for the funeral. How are we going to gather up this money? Well, there are going to be a lot of hard times. They're going to put up, websites. Please donate, which isn't a phone call I want to be calling around like, hey, will you please donate some money for such and such funeral? It's not a very good conversation that you want to have, and you don't want to leave that to your family. The next thing is you're the one bringing in all the money. Who's going to make the next mortgage payment? Who's going to make the next car payment? Who's going to pay for the kids' school lunches? Who's going to pay for the kids to go to school? What are we going to do? It's a moment of panic that can easily be avoided by simply purchasing a life insurance. It's a responsibility that we have as providers for our family to take on to make sure that they don't have to worry about it. It's bad enough they lost you. Now they have to worry about losing their home, being kicked out on the street, how they're going to find money for food. I mean, it goes on and on. I've seen it. It's not something that you'd want to witness to. So that's what life insurance is. It's simply there to prevent your family from the burden of you passing on all your debt and taking away your incoming funds that you produce. I mean, another way to think about it, think of it as you are a money tree. You're the money tree in the backyard. Family goes out, I need money. Well, guess what? There you are. You're their money tree. Now, if there really was a money tree in the backyard, I guarantee you would purchase insurance on it, right? I know I would. Anything happens to that money tree, I want it replaced. Well, guess what? Life insurance is that money tree. You're the money tree. Life insurance is going to replace that if something happens to you. So I want you to think about it. Again, I know it's not something you want to talk about or want to think about, but all I can say is if you do not need life insurance right now, now's the time to buy it. Because if you need it, I'm sorry to say, but you cannot get it. If you need it, there's other two options. You're either dead or you're unhealthy where you can no longer purchase life insurance. Purchase life insurance. you'll feel so much better. I have life insurance, and I can tell you that I feel good knowing if something happens to me, my family will not have to worry about where the money is going to come from to stay on their feet and keep moving forward. Just think about that. Again, the Titanic was unsinkable, but it sunk.